I didn't work security. I cleaned up after everyone else left. For about 8 months, I was part of the overnight janitorial crew at a large indoor shopping mall in Orlando. My shift started at 10:30 p.m. after the stores closed and ended just before sunrise. The job mostly involved emptying trash bins, mopping corridors, wiping down food court tables, and cleaning the public restrooms before morning shoppers arrived. It wasn't a stressful job. It was repetitive, quiet, and predictable. Most nights, the loudest thing in the building was the floor scrubber or the echo of my cartwheels across the tile. There was only one area of the mall I didn't like working in: the children's play zone. The play area sat in a wide open section near the food court. During the day it was loud. Kids running, plastic structures clattering, parents talking over the noise. But at night, once everything shut down, it looked completely different. The lights there were never fully turned off. Instead, a row of softer overhead fixtures stayed on, casting dim yellow light across the foam mats and plastic climbing equipment. The place always looked slightly out of place compared to the rest of the mall, colorful, but strangely dull when empty. My routine required me to clean that area around midnight each night. Usually it took about 20 minutes. Wipe down the equipment, empty the nearby trash cans, sweep up dropped food and wrappers. The first few weeks, nothing unusual happened. Then one night I heard something I shouldn't have. It was just after midnight when I wheeled my cart into the play area. As soon as I stepped onto the foam mats, I heard a soft creaking sound. At first I assumed it was just the plastic structures settling. The temperature inside malls changes slightly after closing, and sometimes materials expand or contract enough to make noise. But then I heard it again. A small shifting sound, like weight moving on one of the platforms. I stood still for a few seconds, listening. Nothing followed. I told myself it was just the building settling and went back to work. Still, I found myself finishing the cleaning faster than usual that night. 2 nights later, something else happened. The children's area had motion-activated decorative lights built into the floor panels. Small glowing shapes that lit up when someone walked across them. During the day, kids triggered them constantly. At night, they were supposed to stay off unless someone stepped on the mats. I was standing just outside the play zone, writing something down on my checklist, when I saw one of the floor panels light up, near the center of the play area. I hadn't stepped inside yet. I waited. Another panel lit up a few feet away. Then another. They activated in a short path across the foam surface, like someone small was walking from one end to the other. Then they stopped. I stood there long enough that the lights faded out on their own. Eventually I walked in and finished cleaning like usual, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I had just watched something move through the area before I got there. The following week, I mentioned the motion lights to one of the security guys. He told me the play area had a camera covering it, and if something weird was happening, they could check it. I didn't push it at the time. I figured there was probably a simple explanation, maybe a faulty sensor or air movement triggering the lights. But 2 nights later, I heard something that made me wish I hadn't brushed it off. It was around 1:10 a.m. I was wiping down one of the plastic slides when I heard a soft, quick tapping sound behind me. It sounded exactly like small footsteps on the foam flooring. Not loud, just fast. I turned around immediately. The play area was empty. The overhead lights were steady. Nothing moving. No shadows shifting. I stood there long enough that the silence felt heavier than usual. Then I finished the job and left. That night, I asked security to check the camera footage. The guard called me into the office to watch the playback. The video showed me entering the play area with my cart, wiping down equipment, and moving around exactly like I remembered. But at one point, while I was cleaning near the slide, the floor panels behind me lit up, one after another, like someone was walking across them. The strange part wasn't that they lit up. It was that nothing was visible triggering them. No shadow, no movement, just lights activating in a path behind me. The guard replayed it twice. Same thing each time. We both agreed it was probably a faulty sensor. That explanation felt reasonable enough to move on. But things didn't stop there. The next incident happened a few nights later. The play zone had a small enclosed ball pit that usually collected bits of trash and wrappers during the day. Part of my job was to rake through it and remove anything that didn't belong there. I had just finished sweeping nearby when I heard something shift inside the pit. Not loud, just a subtle rustling. I walked over and looked inside. The surface of the plastic balls was slightly uneven, like something had recently moved through them. I assumed a piece of trash had fallen in and settled awkwardly, so I grabbed the rake and pulled through the surface. Halfway across, something rolled toward the edge. A small child's shoe, not paired with another, just one. I placed it on the side rail and finished cleaning, figuring it had been left behind earlier that day. When I came back the next night, the shoe was gone. I never saw anyone remove it. About a week later, I was finishing the play area again when the overhead lights dimmed briefly, not a full power loss, just a flicker. Right after that, the floor panels lit up again. This time, the lights didn't move randomly. They formed a slow path from the far corner of the play area straight toward where I was standing. One by one, stopping about 6 feet in front of me. I didn't move. I just watched them fade out. That was the first time I left the area without finishing the job. I started requesting to clean the play area earlier in the shift, while more staff were still around. Management didn't question it, and eventually they reassigned someone else to handle that section altogether. A month later, I transferred to a different location. I never asked what happened after that. Sometimes when I pass that mall during the day, I glance inside toward the food court area. The play zone still looks normal. Kids running around, parents sitting nearby, nothing out of place. But I remember how it looked at night. Dim lights, empty foam mats, and those floor panels lighting up in a path, like something small was still walking through there long after closing. Do you think that play area was just malfunctioning? Or do places like that sometimes hold on to more than we realize? Let us know in the comments. And if this story unsettled you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more true horror cases that will leave you speechless.